Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into Jeb Blount's Fanatical Prospecting. And let me tell you, this book is basically the ultimate tough love guide for anyone in sales. So if you've ever felt that anxiety of a dwindling pipeline, you are in exactly the right place. And Jeb Blount just comes right out of the gate with this one. It's a brutally honest truth. This single sentence just perfectly captures that feeling of desperation, that fear you get when there are no new opportunities on the horizon. You know the feeling, right? It pushes you into bad deals and makes you negotiate from a place of weakness. This is the core problem we're going to tackle today. So that brings us to the million-dollar question, doesn't it? I mean, we know how awful an empty pipeline feels. So why is the one activity that can actually fix it prospecting? The very thing we tend to avoid like the plague. It just doesn't seem logical. But as it turns out, there's this really powerful psychological trap at play. And that trap has a name, the prospecting paradox. So let's really dig into how this vicious cycle works, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. And that is the absolute first step to breaking free. Okay, so here's the trap in a nutshell. It starts with that fear of rejection, right? So you put it off. You tell yourself, oh, I'm just too busy with other stuff right now. But avoiding it is what leads directly to that empty pipeline. And then, all of a sudden, the pressure is massive, which makes the very thought of picking up the phone and facing even more rejection feel completely impossible. It is a nasty, self-defeating loop. And this slide really lays it all out, doesn't it? It shows the two completely different paths, the two futures that are available to every single salesperson. On the left, you've got that vicious cycle of avoidance. It just leads to more stress and really terrible results. But on the right, that's the good stuff. That's the virtuous cycle. Consistent prospecting keeps the pipeline full, and that fullness, well, that gives you confidence, it gives you a predictable income, and it gives you the power to become a true top performer. Okay, so how do we actually get out of this paradox and build that virtuous cycle for ourselves? Well, according to Blunt, it's not about some new tactic. Not at first, anyway. It's about a total and complete shift in your mindset. It's about adopting 3 non-negotiable, well, let's call them unbreakable laws of prospecting. All right, law number 1, the 30-day rule. And this is so important. You have to get this. The work you put in today, that's not for this week. That's for 30, 60, even 90 days from now. So when you skip a week of prospecting because you're too busy closing deals, you're not actually saving time. What you're really doing is creating a sales drought for yourself next quarter. Next up, the law of replacement. And look, the math here is it's brutal. Every single day, customers leave and deals fall apart. Think of your pipeline like a bucket with holes in it. It is always leaking. So if you aren't constantly pouring new opportunities into the top to replace what you're losing, it's not a question of if it'll run dry, it's just a question of when. And the third law, the universal law of prospecting. This one is about embracing a simple, maybe even unglamorous truth. The top performers, they're not just lucky. Nope, they are creating their own luck by simply rolling the dice more often. Success in sales really is a numbers game, and it's fueled by consistent, relentless activity. It is truly that straightforward. So getting that mindset right, that's the foundation. But now we got to turn that into something you can actually do day in and day out. To really succeed, you need a structured, balanced approach. You just can't put all your eggs in one basket. And this is what that practical framework looks like in action. Blount calls it the prospecting pyramid. See, you can't just be an email person or a social media person. That's a one-way ticket to failure. The real pros use a balanced, multi-channel approach. The telephone, believe it or not, is still king because it interrupts patterns. But it's got to be supported by everything else: email, social selling, networking, even texting, to create a truly comprehensive outreach strategy. Okay, so we've got the mindset down. We've got the strategy. Now it's time to get really tactical. This is all about turning those big ideas into a concrete, no-excuses plan that you can execute every single day. This right here. This is your magic number. 90 minutes. Every single day. You have to carve out this time block for nothing but pure, uninterrupted prospecting. That means no email, no admin stuff, no meetings. This time is sacred. It is the most important appointment you have on your calendar, period. Okay, so you've blocked the time. But what do you actually say? Well, you use this incredibly simple but super effective formula. YU means you've done your homework. Your message has to be personalized and relevant to their specific problems. And then why now creates the urgency. It answers that unspoken question every prospect has. Out of all the things I could be doing, why in the world should I talk to you today? Look, try hard is not a strategy. Vague goals just don't get it done. You need real, tangible numbers that you have 100% control over. Think about it. You can't force someone to buy, but you can control whether you pick up the phone 25 times or send 15 personalized emails. You have to focus on winning the activity, and the results, they will follow. And to tie it all together, here's a super simple checklist to keep yourself honest. At the end of each day, just run through this. It's that simple. And listen, this isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent. This is how you change prospecting from something you dread into an automatic, empowering habit. And really, after all the strategies, all the laws, all the frameworks, it all boils down to this one idea. It's not about your closing skills or your product knowledge or how fancy your CRM is. The single biggest thing that will predict your success is consistent prospecting activity. It's not glamorous, but it is the undeniable truth of sales. So the only real question left to ask yourself is, are you going to make that appointment with yourself tomorrow?